Hello, my name is Kelly Detman, and I'm a partner technical consultant at Microsoft. Today I'm going to be talking about the new features released for business intelligence in Microsoft Dynamics GP 2015. Let's take a look at business intelligence since Dynamics GP 2013 released. With Service Pack 2, one of the larger features added was SmartList Designer. In the Dynamics GP 2013 R2 release, we added the ability to have Excel content in Business Analyzer, made more enhancements to SmartList Designer, added the ability to print or email Word forms, and then finally the Dynamics GP Workspace SharePoint Online app was available in the Office Store. In Dynamics GP 2015, we're going to be looking at Business Analyzer R7. We'll talk about how it's available for Windows, iOS, or Android, and you can have Management Reporter content in Business Analyzer as well. We'll take a look at how Management Reporter navigation integration is available in Dynamics GP and refreshable Excel reports from SmartList Designer. So for the agenda today, we'll look at SmartList Designer and the ability to create refreshable Excel reports from there, the navigation integration for Management Reporter in Dynamics GP, some Management Reporter integration options that can be selected, and then Business Analyzer, the R7 release, which is available on multiple platforms, Windows 8, iOS, and Android. So for the first topic, let's look at SmartList Designer, refreshable Excel reports. SmartList now enables users to publish a refreshable Microsoft Excel report to the Excel report library as long as the SmartList report was created using an existing SQL Server view. Let's take a look at this in Dynamics GP. One of the things that was added for GP 2015 is there's a new navigation option for the SmartList Designer window. So I'm on the administration page, and if I go over and scroll down to reports, I'll see at the bottom SmartList Designer. This will just make it easier to open SmartList Designer. The previous way of opening it was clicking SmartList here and then using the new button. But if I just use SmartList Designer, I can open it and start working from there. To start using this feature, you'll first want to make sure that the Excel reports are deployed in Dynamics GP. So on the Administration tab, if we go under Setup and System, we can go to Reporting Tools Setup. And in here, there's an Excel Reports tab. And you can see for Excel reports, they can be deployed to a network share or SharePoint on-premise, or you can also mark using SharePoint Online if you choose that option. For this example, I just have it set to network share and have it pointed locally for simplicity. Once that's done, we can go under Reports here and open up SmartList. And this is where we'll get started creating a SmartList using a SQL Server view. What I've done first is made sure to create a SQL Server view. So mine is just a select statement that I'm going to be running, where I'm selecting my top 10 items from my item quantity master, and I'm ordering by the highest quantity sold. So I'll just run this script, and that'll create my view called Top Items. Now if I go back to SmartList, I can choose what series I want this to show under, and I'm going to choose just Inventory, and then I'll click New, and this will open up SmartList Designer. I need to go down to my views here and expand that, and I have it created under the Fabricam company database, so I'll choose Expand Company. Now you can see there's hundreds of views that are automatically created for you in Dynamics GP, such as accounts, account summary, account transactions, items. You could use any of these SQL Server views for using this new feature, but for this example, I'm just going to use the one I created using the SQL script, just to show that. So if I go to Top Items here, I can choose the columns I want to see. I'm going to choose item number, and then some of my quantity fields, quantity to back order, let's see, quantity sold, quantity returned, and that'll be enough there. And then I just need to name my list. I'm just going to call it items 1, and it's going to show under the inventory series because of these settings here. I can click execute query and see the results of my query. There's my quantity sold there, and if I click I can also set a go-to, so if I want, when I click on the Smart List, I want it to automatically open up a navigation list. I'll choose items for this one and choose inventory, primary list. I'll have it open the items list when I go ahead and run this Smart List. So I'll click OK here, and here's my new top 10 items ordered by quantity sold in the SQL script. Now I can make this be a refreshable Excel report. You can see this Publish button is lit up here for the Smart List. If I were to go to a different Smart List that was not created from a SQL Server view, this Publish button is not available. So it will need to be a Smart List that was created from a SQL Server view in order to publish. So now to create the refreshable Excel report, I'll click Publish. It's letting me know that it created it. Users will need to have proper security to the network share or the SharePoint location in order to successfully publish a new refreshable Excel report. It'll also attempt to access SQL data using your Windows credentials that you're currently logged in with. So for that reason, I'm going to need to add that Windows account in SQL, and make sure that it has access to the appropriate RPT roles based on the reports and data you want them to have access to. So it's the same as Excel reports have been in the past and SSRS reports. So if I go to this location here, we will browse out to that location and take a look at the reports. And I put it under inventory, so it's automatically going to go in here. And here's my new refreshable Excel report called Items 1. And if I had this on a SharePoint site or whichever method I had my Excel reports deployed, that's where it would be available for others to come in and refresh. And when you do the refresh, it will use your Windows credentials that you're logged into. So as a review, there's a new navigation option for Smart List Designer, so you can open Smart List Designer in an easier way. And then the other part of this is the refreshable Excel reports, and this is just some notes on that to give you some guidelines on deployment and then user information. So it's just a review of what we covered in the demo. The next feature we'll look at is Navigation Integration for Management Reporter. So in Dynamics GP 2015, we created a new navigation list for accessing Management Reporter reports from within the Financial or Administration navigation buttons right in Dynamics GP. Let's take a look at this. So to start using the Management Reporter navigation list, you'll need to set it up in the Reporting Tools Setup window. So on the Administration page under Setup, if we open Reporting Tools Setup, you'll see a new tab has been added for Management Reporter. And there's two fields at the top. The Management Reporter service is required in order for this integration to work. This service connection will enable Dynamics GP to communicate with the Management Reporter service to retrieve and view reports within Dynamics GP. And the second field is optional. It's the location of the reportdesigner.exe. The exe location will enable users to launch the designer from within Dynamics GP to edit or create a new Management Reporter report. So it's optional. You can leave it blank. If you want users to be able to do it, then you'll want to enter a path there. And just like the existing Excel reports or reporting services reports, you'll want to use the Deploy Reports button to actually deploy them. And if you expand this option here, you're going to see, you can see which companies have been deployed. So now that that's been set up, we can either stay on the administration pane and we'll see Management Reporter reports, or we can go over to Financial and we'll see Management Reporter reports. And so you'll see your list of reports that you've generated in Management Reporter in this list, and you could run them right from within Dynamics GP. So I'll just double click on this one and open that up. And you'll see I can see my Management Reporter report right within Dynamics GP. The other option here is I can create a new MR report, or I can edit an existing one. If I click MR report here, and this is where I needed to map out the location of the reportdesigner.exe in order for that to work. Let's review the new feature. In Dynamics GP 2015, a tab was added to the Reporting Tool Setup window for Management Reporter. There's new navigation lists for Management Reporter. They're available from the Administration and the Financial navigation buttons. The list is not visible until the MR reports have been deployed in Reporting Tool Setup. And another point here is only reports the current Windows user has Security 2 will show in the navigation list. And then you have the ability to view, edit, and create Management Reporter actions. And this would be if you've defined the location of the report designer.exe. The next business intelligence feature we'll look at is Management Reporter integration options. And this is really going to make it easier for a user to choose per company if they want GL data available for reporting in Management Reporter, and then they can choose to include or exclude analytical accounting data as well. So let's take a look at this. So let's take a look at some details on this new feature. So with this option, the user can determine the data that is available to the Microsoft Dynamics Management Reporter Data Mart, improving the performance and giving the user control over the data selected. So at the bottom of the Company Setup Options window, you'll see there's two options for Management Reporter. You can enable GL reporting and enable analytical accounting reporting. So in order to mark the AA checkbox, you would first need to have the GL reporting box marked, and also AA would have to be activated in the company in order to mark that box. In GP 2015, when it released, will be supported with MR version CU11. On previous versions, such as MR version CU10, this configuration that you're able to do in this Company Setup Options window would have been done in the Management Reporter Configuration Console. So now these options can be set by, say, an accounting manager in Dynamics GP. At the time of enabling a company in GP, such as marking Enable GL Reporting, GP enables change tracking on the appropriate database. And the other note here is that by default, these boxes are unmarked when a new company is created. For our final feature, we'll take a look at Business Analyzer Release 7. Microsoft Dynamics Business Analyzer is a cross-Dynamics Business Intelligent tablet application that enables Dynamics AX, GP, and SL customers the ability to view and take action on key business information right at their fingertips. Business Analyzer was initially released in January 2013 to the Windows Store, and the application has been a huge success within the Dynamics community with over 20,000 downloads since the initial release. And recently, we made available Business Analyzer Release 7. And it's available not only to Windows tablet users, but for iOS or Android to install and use the app. And it's also available for Windows Phone. Aside from being cross-platform, one of the other key features added was the ability to see Management Reporter content within the app, in addition to the existing SSRS and Excel reports functionality. Here we'll take a very quick look at Microsoft Dynamics Business Analyzer. If I do Windows button and C, I can open up the settings and then go to configuration. You can run this application in sample report mode. So if you go out to the Windows Store or iOS or Android stores, you can just run this app without connecting it or doing much at all to see how it works. And then I can also turn this off and have the ability to connect it to my Dynamics GP data or whatever application I'm using. I would first need to install the companion app Service Configurator for Dynamics GP, and then I would have that service connection information to enter there. And I've provided a link to some documentation on TechNet, which also has a white paper that directs you to how to set up the companion app Services Configurator. So that would be the first step in getting it connected to your live Dynamics GP data. But for now, we can run it in sample mode. There's other settings here, such as being able to pick your role. So I can choose in the sample data, I have account manager or sales manager roles. And then also you would be able to choose your companies that you had configured and choose from those. And then you'll also be able to run reports, KPIs, charts. So with that, you have available to do your Excel reports, your SSRS reports, and now with R7, your management reporter content. For a review of Business Analyzer R7, management reporter content can now be added. Users may add any MR report to the app start page that they have permissions for, and it provides the ability to view the report in the Management Reporter HTML viewer. And then finally, it's available cross-platform, so it enables tablet users for the Windows, iOS, or Android and Windows Phone. And you just need to search the respective app store for Business Analyzer. And then there's the documentation link there that also helps you with the white paper for the configurator. Thank you for taking a look at the new features added for Business Intelligence to Dynamics GP 2015.